I'm gonna change topics here real quick, just because I like this story, and it really makes me wish that that things would have been a little bit different than they were. Listen to this story. Do you like Smashing Pumpkins or no?
No.
I can't stand them either.
I have self-respect.
Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins contemplated suicide over the success of Pearl Jam and Nirvana.
Oh, I thought it was over the success of his own band.
Come on, the one album sold a lot, the Melancholy and Infinite Sadness. I hate them. I can't stand them. I can't even listen to them.
It's a turd of a band.
Yeah, but
it's a scourge upon the face of music.
Who admits to shit like this? This dude.
The dude tried to buy TNA Wrestling.
I know. And failed.
Okay. His failed venture was not music. His failed venture was buying a bankrupt company.
I know, he couldn't get that
The bankrupt company said, "No, we'd rather go out of business."
Right. But dude, he was his comment here, and I could read it, but I'm not going to. His comment is that he was jealous of the success of Nirvana and Pearl Jam. So he was at a crossroads in his career where he could either kill himself or have success.
Well, if you're going to guarantee yourself long-term success, kill yourself.
He should have.
There's only one reason that there's a debate still between the more successful band, Nirvana, or Foo Fighters, and it's because Kurt Cobain killed himself. Dave Grohl went on to another band.
Yeah, lived. Although that's a pretty big band too, Foo Fighters. They're pretty big. I'm not a fan, but
Nirvana has no reason to even hold a candle to them based on productiveness and longevity.
Right.
Except for Kurt Cobain killed himself.
Well, Nirvana, though, this week, ironically, a nice tie-in, Nirvana's Nevermind album listen to this. This is fucking sickening. And I like this album, too, so don't get me wrong.
It is a good album.
I love the album, but this is ridiculous. Nirvana crossed the 350th week on the Billboard Top 200.
Wait, the album itself?
The album sold 5,000 units last week.
Who is still buying that album?
I don't know.
It's available for free on every streaming service.
I know, but people are still out there buying it. It's been on there for... And you know what? With the way they count streams now, maybe that counts. Because they do somehow place streams into the shit.
Yeah.
But 350 weeks for Nevermind. That's what? 10 years? 8 years?
Let's see, 52 weeks a year, 7 years.
7 years. The all-time record? Want to take a guess?
All time?
Yeah, band or you'll never guess the number. The number's ridiculous, but you can guess the band or the number. All time most weeks on the Billboard Top 200.
This is one of those oddball factoids, so I'm going to say Michael Jackson's Thriller.
No, but that would have been a good get. That's got to be up there somewhere.
It's a Beatles thing then.
Nope. Pink Floyd.
What?
Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, shit.
927 weeks. Almost 1,000 weeks.
And that's still current? Like, still ongoing?
It comes up and down. It's not consecutive. This is not consecutive.
Okay.
It's just weeks that they've sold enough to be Billboard Top 200. And 927.
Who the fuck is still buying that album?
It's like 18 years.
Right.
18 years.
You want to talk about a truly timeless album? If you can post 18 years of top 200,
yeah, that's a lot of.
It's basically forever.
I'd imagine those guys are not. Those guys do not have Lemmy money.
Right.
Those guys have real money.
Right. Like that is why you will never see a Pink Floyd reunion, because you know what?
They don't need it.
They still got the residuals.
Yeah. Well, and the funny thing is, too, with Floyd is, and it sounds like you are not a Floyd guy, but Pink Floyd doesn't need each other. They really don't. Roger Waters, I saw Waters in 2010. He sold out the Gund Arena or whatever it was. I think it might have been the Q at that point.
Because he still plays Pink Floyd.
Yeah, well, he was doing the Wall in its entirety. But he sold out 2 nights in like 5 minutes. And to be honest, the show was one of the top 5 I've ever seen in my life. It was fucking amazing.
Wow, okay.
But that being said, if he can now, he's been out of Pink Floyd since 1980, whatever, 6, 30 whatever years. And if he could still sell out a 20,000 seater everywhere in the world, and literally Roger Waters could probably play stadiums if he wanted to. I don't know if he does or he doesn't. I know he's getting ready to tour, and I haven't seen the rooms he's playing in, but I think he's playing here at the Q. I think.
Yeah, sounds like. Or maybe Nautica Stage.
Nautica Stage, no chance.
Really, 2,500?
No, dude, no way. He's stadium size.
Man, I don't know.
Pink Floyd? Roger Waters? Fuck yeah. Let me look that up. I got to look that up real quick because I got to see. Let me see. Roger Waters, Cleveland, 2017. Roger Waters, Cleveland is at the Q. He's at Quicken Loans Arena. Let's see what these fucking tickets cost. Wow. Lowest dollar number, $83. Highest dollar number, $702. Most of it sold.
Jesus Christ. Now, okay. How much of that is based upon him playing Pink Floyd tunes?
All of that.
Exactly. So it's like Robert Plant coming around.
Well, yeah, but dude, that legacy is huge. Nobody wants to see Roger Waters go out and play a radio chaos in its entirety. No one wants to see that shit.
That's the thing. It's bullshit numbers all the way around, because we all agree Pink Floyd is a draw, not Roger Waters.
No, but he's doing it smart. 927 weeks on Billboard with one of their albums. That's the most successful. I got to imagine The Wall is in the 500 range.
I can't believe that it's not even closer than that.
No, it might be. It definitely might be. So you got 2 albums with that kind of staying power? Fuck yeah.
It still floors my mind that people are still paying money for these albums.
I know. Isn't that stupid?
They're so common. Dude, shit, man.
Forget even knowing anything about your technology. You can literally turn on your classic rock station and hear the Pink Floyd songs.
How do you not, okay, so let's say you heard it on the classic rock station.
Yeah.
And then fire up your phone and Google a song title.
Yeah, well, or Shazam it.
Right. I guarantee you, YouTube or some other link that's provided to you will be a free download of that song.
Of course, or listen to it or whatever. Hell yeah. But dude, people still buy it. You don't buy anything anymore? Nothing?
No.
See, I buy a few.
If it's not available, okay, well, yes and no. Like, for example, I'm an Amazon Prime member.
Mm-hmm.
So you get some shit for free, right? A lot of free music, which is awesome. Their playlists are actually way better than Pandora.
They're also better than Spotify's awful song. Have you done song radio on Spotify?
Oh, it's terrible.
Not good.
It's terrible. Yeah, Amazon does a good job of playing album tracks. So it's in the same vein, but it's shit you haven't heard, which is really the whole essence of internet radio.
Right.
Is to go off and introduce you to things you did not previously even hear about.
Right, sure.
So the whole like Pandora is single after single after single is terrible.
Yeah.
But Amazon in their playlist is so good at doing diversity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would much rather pay for that. I don't understand these people that pay for
the real common stuff.
Right. Yeah. The privilege of hearing what they've already heard. It makes no damn sense to me.
This last year, I think I bought 4 albums. I bought the Zakk Wylde album, which that's on all the streaming services, but Zach's my friend, so I bought it. And I'm a big Black Crowes guy.
Okay.
And so I bought the Chris Robinson Brotherhood, which is his new band. But because it's not getting any kind of run, it's independently produced, and it wasn't available on Spotify when it came out.
Okay.
So I bought that. Now, I think it's on Spotify now, but for $8 or whatever it was, like, whatever, I want to hear it now. I'm trying to think what the other two might have been. I don't even remember.
Yeah, the 2 albums that came out this year that I was really stoked about were The Last Hero.
Oh, Alter Bridge?
Yeah. Yes. Total honk for Alter Bridge. Mm-hmm. And it's available for streaming on Amazon Prime, which I'm already a member, so I'm not going to buy it.
Right.
And Hardwired, which is also on Amazon Prime.
And I bought that, too. I bought that one.
I got no reason to buy it.
See, I'm a Metallica dork, so I did buy. See, I should be buying none, honestly. A lot of the time I buy stuff for the show. You know, the few times I buy things, I buy it for the show.
Yeah.
You know, Hardwired was one of those that I bought the day it went on pre-order because they had the third disc that was the members only thing. Of course, now Spotify has that, so I really got host on that deal. But because we have a friend that's a listener to the show, loves the show, and he's a muckety buck at Spotify. So we haven't paid for Spotify in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so I have it. So you would think that since I have Spotify, I'd be done buying music. But I still buy it a little bit, you know, here and there.
Why do you buy it?
A lot of times it's support, just general support.
Yep.
You know, not because I have some dying need to, because, I mean, even with Spotify, I can just click a button and it downloads to my phone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I like to have it, you know.
It's more the stance of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, a lot of my friends that are my age, your brother buys a ton of music still. Too much, but he's a fucking retard. So
yeah, especially because I think he buys it because he's not smart enough to find any other way to do it.
Yeah,
he doesn't have this like high moral bridge where he's like, yes, I'm not going to take music. I'm going to pay for it. No, it's like, I don't know how to do this. I'm just gonna buy it.
What is this Spotify?
There's a reason that on our Star Wars podcast, I'm the tech guy.
Right.
He leads the show. I make sure there is a show, and a third guy makes sure it sounds good.
Right.
Like that's our division of labor because
works.
John has no idea how the internet works as far as distribution of audio.
Right. No. Or anything else.
Right.
He definitely is a little clueless when it comes to tech.
Hey, to no surprise of anyone in this audience, my brother is loud and likes to swear.
What?
Hey, imagine that.
What? John? Too funny, man. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy I do love Spotify. I play it. I use it all the fucking time. But that being said, this is where I don't make any sense. I'm like stupid with my technology. I have 16,000 downloaded songs on my phone from Google Play. I have 46 or 47,000 songs uploaded. You know, I have this hard drive right here that has, 100,000 songs on it that are mine. And then I have all those books right next to your head. Mm-hmm. Those are all DVD books with 200 DVDs.
God damn.
Each DVD has 50 albums on it. And yeah, I have like 100 terabytes of music. I have more music than I could ever listen to in my life. But I still don't get tired of it. I still am like, oh, well, I can't. I'm such a dork that I can't have like the Metallica is a prime example. I had to own it because I can't have everything except that. Mm-hmm. You know, I can't have Spotify have it and not me have it. And like I bought the 9 Inch Nails put out an EP a couple months ago, and I had to have that. I could have listened to it the day it came out. It's 9 Inch Nails. It'll be online.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I bought it the day it came out. Had to have it. Liked it. Glad I have it. But whatever, I didn't need to. So I think I still buy the bands that I like a ton, but I don't buy nearly as much. Most anything now, it's like, well, one, I still get 50 releases a week from from the record labels. They send me download links for just about everything.
Mm-hmm.
And what they don't, I generally will buy if I don't have it quick enough. And if it's not on Spotify. I don't go to Spotify first. I go to, well, I don't have it. It's fucking $8. Who cares? You know, it's the immediacy, I guess, and
right.
knowing I have it.
And the fact that the band will then get credit for whatever.
Right. And I'm okay with that. You know, for the most part, I'm fine with that. So, I don't know. It's a different world, man. I honestly don't know how bands think they're going to continue. You know, because the trend right now is more guys like you than guys like me, and I am considered tech advanced.
Totally.
You know, and you know, there's still, I have plenty of friends. I'm sure there's people in the chat room that still buy a lot of music. You know, and those people, you know, actually buy CDs and whatever, and that's fine. If you're into that, that's cool. A lot of people that buy vinyl and whatnot, but that is such a minority now. You know, you got nieces that are in their teens or nephews, right? And
yeah, you know what? There's a better chance of those bands getting paid off of having their song as a track on a radio in Grand Theft Auto,
right,
than it is of them putting out a record that catches fire and people buy a fuck ton of copies.
Right. Well, it's I have my two nieces. One is 19 and one is she's 16. And my niece Emily that's 16, she's a big music fan of today's stuff, the Macklemore or whatever,
It's all crap.
It is garbage, but I mean I don't like it, but she's a bit, she's that age, that's what's hot, and she's into it, just like I was with fucking Huey Lewis and the News or whatever, but I was talking to her one day, at a family function, and I asked her, I said, what do you like to listen to? And she was naming songs. Well, I like this song, and I like that song, and I like blah, 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 or whatever. And I was like, well, which albums do you like? And she's like, I don't own any albums. And I was like, what do you mean you don't own any albums? And she was like, she said she's never bought an album. And I mean,
Never.
One of the gifts that we always get her, because it's an easy out, is a Spotify or a iTunes card. And she uses her, get her $100 iTunes card. She will buy 100 singles. No albums.
Yeah.
No, there's no loyalty like we had in our day. In our day, if you like I know you like Megadeth. That's a big band for you.
Fuck yeah.
And you, in your mind, would probably never, even now, you would not go online and say, well, here's the new Megadeth single. Let me buy it. If you for sure were going to buy a Megadeth album and the single was available on Amazon, but only to buy, you wouldn't buy that. You'd wait.
Mm-hmm.
You'd wait the 3 weeks till the album came out or whatever.
They're doing that now. You've seen that, right?
What, sound singles or?
Just they'll release certain songs, but not all of them for individual purchase.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then they'll release the whole album, and you're sitting there like, okay, $1.29. Okay, if I spend $1.30 a track, or $10 for the album.
Yeah.
But I like 5 tracks.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So what's 5 times $1.30? Is it worth buying the album?
Yeah. Just and
it's a different model. It's a different model. Period.
And it's a bad model because the worst part about
Metallica said this. Kirk Hammett said it. He's like, you know what? People buy singles anymore, so there are no more albums.
No,
truly, it's just a collection of songs.
Right.
So if each song itself doesn't have a chance of being listened to and downloaded and paid for, it's not going to be recorded.
But the record labels don't help it. What's left of the record industry, they don't help either because. Especially the smaller labels, when they put out an album, like Frontiers Records as an example, every fucking song is out there. They put out an album and they release all 12 videos, like they do like lyric videos or just like we do with the CMS where they put up a picture of the album cover and the name of the song. But they release all of them on YouTube. And my thought is always, okay, well, unless you're the hardest of hardcore fan, why the fuck would you buy the new,
right?
Whatever, the new Great White record? I mean, you'd have to be a really big fan of Great White to buy a Great White album in 2017. You'd have to know the guys in my mind.
I say we'll skip the obvious jokes and just keep on topic.
Yeah, you would have to. Yeah, either that or being a firefighter. All right, too soon.
Wow. But yeah, like there's no point for bands to put out a compilation like a true album anymore because there's no side A, side B. Mm-hmm. Even with compact discs, you at least had all the tracks.
Right.
Now you could just cherry pick.
Mm-hmm. But
so every song better be self-contained because no one's going to buy a collection of songs because they tie together.
Unless they're old.
Yeah.
If they're 40 plus, they will buy an album.
Mm-hmm.
They'll buy it in digital form now. They'll buy a download, but they'll buy 10 songs versus 2.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're 25 or whatever, there's no allegiance to any of these bands. I mean, what are the big bands, rock bands of today? Do we even know of any? Adele? Is that considered rock?
God, I hope not. If that's how far we've fallen.
Well, that is how far we've fallen. Lady Gaga?
I don't want to live in this world anymore.
I mean, what? Emery? Is Emery considered a great metal band now? Or Asking Alexandria?
Yeah.
I mean, those are the metal bands,
right? If they're on Octane, they're legit.
Yeah. Well, so if those are the metal bands, would people buy an Emery album? Or an Asking Alexandria album? Or, I don't know, what is that band that Portnoy was in? They had the song Nightmare. Avenged Sevenfold.
Yeah.
Is that like the biggest band?
Pretty much. Well, they're supporting Metallica on his tour.
Yeah.
Rock on the Range.
So if they're the biggest band and they're supporting a 40-year-old band,
yep.
What does that tell you?
Well, we don't even need to spell that out. I mean, the industry is dying.
It's just toast. But, yeah, it's Sure. Well, I honestly, and I tell people this all the time. I have my friend, our friend Sammy Lee. He's in this band right here, Red Rain. Here's his disc. I love Sammy. Great dude. And I wish to God that they would hit because they make great music. Their songs are really strong. And it's a pipe dream.
Why?
Because he's not they're not the kind of band that's going to hit today. It's not 3 chicks with fake tits and asses, and it's not it's just straight up rock. And straight up rock isn't going to work anymore.
No.
And it just sucks, and no label is going to run out there and take a chance. No label is going to be like, look, I always point to Journey as the biggest success story I could think of this. Journey had, I think, 5 fucking albums that tanked before they hit. 5.
They
had Journey.
Not
they had
10.
Not 10.
10.
No, they had 5. But they had Journey. They had Journey Next, Journey into the Future. They were there. Yeah, you haven't even heard of these records.
They deserve to get their asses beat for putting their own title in their album name.
Yeah, but you haven't even heard of any of those, right?
No, and I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, because they weren't good albums. But they had a label that saw something or heard something and went artist development. And what did they do? They ended up becoming one of the biggest bands of all time.
Yeah.
150 million sold. That's knowing that you have something. Who's going to do that today? These bands now, they're happy. The big name bands are happy if they could drop 30,000 sales off. In a week, on opening week.
Mm-hmm.
So who's going to wait for them? Nobody. Nobody's going to wait. And we're going to miss on all these bands now. They're just not going to come.
Dude, attendance is down overall because of the internet.
Yeah, I agree with that too. YouTube, dude, especially with the price of concert tickets these days, where it's, Metallica. Metallica, closest they're coming here is either Rock on the Range, which I'm not going to because I don't want to see a half a show. I want to see the full show. Or Detroit, Comerica Park. And Comerica, one, I don't want to go to the fucking ghetto to see a show. And two, $160 a ticket. $160 a ticket.
For the shit seats.
Well, no matter, even if they're great seats. No, they're it's the best seats they have. But the one, I'm old. I'm not sitting in section 525 on the side of the stage 8 miles high. I'm not doing that at a baseball stadium. Two, the stage itself is in center field. So the best seats in the place, if they're behind home plate, say where home plate would be the best seats.
Yeah.
You're still looking all the way out to center field to fucking see them. Fuck you. Not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking bullshit. For $160 a ticket.
Yeah, to ask someone to pay that kind of money and then tell them, we're not really sure where we're going to put you yet.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Well, dude, that's like, I'm sure you've seen those old videos from the 60s of like the Beatles. When the Beatles would come out to like the Met Stadium or whatever, and they would walk out to the middle of a stage in the middle of the baseball field, and everybody would go crazy. Well, that's great if you're the Beatles.
Yeah.
But you know what? Those tickets were about $1.40 each. And that was the Beatles.
Hey, based on inflammation, that's inflammation. Yes. Based on inflammation.
Inflation. Hard. Somebody's had too much to drink.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, fuck. You're absolutely right.
It's ridiculous.
It's not worth it.
No,
that's the problem. It's not worth it.
Yep.
I'll pay whatever it's worth.
Sure.
But when you make music so cheap and accessible,
mm-hmm.
and then you want people to pay old school terms of money,
well, yeah.
I love Alter Bridge. I would have paid for that album. Okay.
Yeah.
But when all of a sudden a week before it comes out, free on Prime, Alter Bridge. Okay, well, I'm not going to buy that album now.
Right.
I have no reason to buy it because it's available for free.
Right. No, and that is the truth of it, dude. It's one of those things. I say it to bands all the time because I end up talking to a lot of bands, obviously.
Yes.
And I ask them, I say, well, is this even worth doing anymore? And a lot of them say no, but they're creative people and they want to create.
Exactly. And it's better than phoning it in because they have a day job instead.
Mm-hmm. But the argument back that I always make to them is, well, you know what? You're not due that money either. I've always believed that the music industry was grossly overinflated. Grossly. Just because you wrote some songs that we enjoyed. Now, I think concerts should have always been higher priced, not where they are now. I think they should always have been around the $50 mark or the equivalent with inflation at the time to about $50.
Yeah. Not
$160. That's just dumb.
Right.
But, concerts for a long time were like $8. You go see I went and saw Kiss when Kiss was huge for like $12, at the Coliseum. $12. That's underpriced because it was the same cost as an album. They had to drive in to do it, or fly in or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
So they should be paid. But the albums for $12, I always thought was ridiculous. Songs are worth about 50 cents a song. If an album, think about it this way, if an album was $5, you'd buy more.
True.
Because it's like, it's $5, who cares? And that's what it's worth. It's not worth $18.49. It's just not. But anyway, music business, it's so dead.
It really is. That's why we're on the show right now, actually.
Yeah, it is. So, well, why don't we give somebody some money? Let's see. Who can we pay by playing their shit?
Oh, there we go. Yes.
Play some shit.
Let's make somebody benefit from our show existing tonight.
All right, let's see. Tesla?
No. No.
No. Why not Tesla?
They don't deserve money. That's why.
All right. Let me find another one. Let's see. Motorhead, since we were talking about them and Lemmy's broke.
Goddamn yes.
All right, let's do some Motorhead.
We don't need some cash.
All right, here we go. This is from the Aftershock record. It is Motorhead. It is Death Machine. Exclusively here
on the Classic Metal Show.